Welcome to the Spotswood VFW Preservation Project video. Today, we'll discuss the recently closed Spotswood VFW building and why the site should be historically protected and preserved. Behind the VFW building is one of Spotswood's most significant, yet forgotten, historical sites. A site where 3 centuries of history are visibly layered on top of each other. In archaeology, a palimpsest is a site containing evidence of multiple past events, layered over time, older material partially erased or obscured by later ones. Spotswood has its own perfect example of an archaeological palimpsest. This report traces that site from a forgotten dam all the way back to a Lenape king. The top layer starts with a lake lost to time. At the turn of the 20th century, publishing magnate Bernard McFadden built a lakefront utopia here, Physical Culture City. Lake Marguerite drew visitors from across the region. A section of the dam that created it still stands today. Inspired by a renowned Helme Facebook page, the Jersey Midlands, I went to see the forgotten dam behind the VFW. The Facebook post on this subject was what sparked my initial discovery. I implore you to take the time to read through it. It is extremely well researched. McFadden was arrested for publishing inappropriate material in 1908. Though eventually pardoned by President Taft, it meant the end of his utopia. Historic aerial photography shows the dam failed sometime before 1931, and the lake vanished. South Shore and North Shore roads still hold the lake's memory. There is a VFW building in the general location of McFadden's publishing building and restaurant. The VFW building is possibly the old PC City restaurant building. Is it possible the VFW building was constructed around the skeleton of something much older? Other Physical Culture City buildings may have been modernized and still be used as homes today. Layer 2 is Outcalt's mill, operating from the 1840s into the 1900s. McFadden built his dam at the same site John Outcalt operated his mill. In the 1840s, Judge John D. Outcalt purchased land along the Manalapan River to begin his mill venture. A 1938 Monroe Centennial History noted that Outcalt's mill was built on the site of Weequehela's ancient sawmill. An 1850 map from Rutgers shows J.D. Outcalt's snuff mill at this precise location. The map places the mill 9 chains and 75 links, 643.5 feet, from the turnpike, Bordentown-Amboy Turnpike, now called Manalapan Road in Spotswood, consistent with the modern VFW site. The same map states that J.D. Outcalt's mill is distant westerly 57 chains from the dotted line in the road. That translates to 3,752 feet, which again is roughly the same distance west from modern DeVoe Avenue as the VFW building stands today. When water levels drop, a submerged mill structure becomes visible. The structural outline and location match Outcalt's mill on the 1850 map. The construction materials appear consistent with the mid to late 19th century. In the 1870s, Outcalt raised his dam, flooding his brother-in-law George W. Helme's mills downstream. George W. Helme founded Helme, which still bears his name. When Outcalt refused to lower the height of his dam, Helme sued, and Outcalt defended himself with a remarkable historical claim. Outcalt claimed the height of his dam was not as high as the original structure present when his grandfather first purchased the land. He claimed that his mill was built on an old Indian embankment. His case made it all the way to the New Jersey Supreme Court. The court couldn't verify his claims. The case was dismissed on a technicality. The mystery remained unsolved. Layer 3 brings us to the man known in his time as, quote, the Indian King of East New Jersey, unquote. Weequehela was a Lenape sachem who rose to prominence in colonial society. He dined with governors, dressed in European style, lived in a wood frame house, and operated a plantation and 2 sawmills on the Manalapan River. The foundational structure of one of those mill sites might still be buried underneath the old VFW building. A drunken land feud with local tavern owner John Leonard, who repeatedly swindled Weequehela, ended in murder. Weequehela warned Leonard if he cheated him again, he would kill him, which he accordingly took an opportunity of doing after Leonard gained rights to a cedar swamp Weequehela claimed as his own. Weequehela shot John Leonard dead, while Leonard was in the daytime walking in his garden. Weequehela was executed on June 30th, 1727, in Perth, Amboy. The militia was called to maintain order over the crowds. After Weequehela's execution, his lands were seized. One of his mills was given to Leonard's widow, Marguerite. Her second husband, Dr. John Johnston, came into possession of Spotswood's earliest mill through his marriage to Leonard's widow. The other was left abandoned for nearly a century. By the 1790s, surveyors were already calling it Weequehela's Old Mill. Judge Outcalt didn't purchase the land until over a century after the execution. It makes sense the only remnants of Weequehela's mill John Outcalt could recall from his childhood would be deeply buried stonework. The, quote, Indian embankment Outcalt described could not be verified. Until now. While documenting the site, soil broke loose from the embankment. Buried deep within the seemingly natural hill were massive stones with tool marks and clear evidence of human placement. The deeply entangled roots indicate these stones have been buried for a long time. Further investigation revealed at least 4 stacked sandstone blocks, buried beneath centuries of soil and root growth. The layering of more modern materials is visible above. This is the same seemingly natural landmark McFadden and Outcalt both used for their dams. A serendipitous act of erosion may have finally proved John Outcalt's 140-year-old claim to be true. The, quote, old Indian embankment he described in court appears to be real. If true, that would make this a truly unique historical site, not just for Spotswood, but for the memory of the Lenape people. There is currently no archaeological record of Lenape people using large stone structures to create dams or mills. If verified, this discovery would profoundly expand our understanding of Lenape technological history. It would also recognize Spotswood's first industrialist as Weequehela instead of John Johnson. With the closure of the VFW, this site has lost its natural guardians. Development pressure threatens sites like these, and the layered history here is too significant to let be erased. This site needs professional archaeological investigation and lasting historic preservation. Our goal is to petition the New Jersey Historic Preservation Office to study and protect this important site. For more information, email hiddenhistoryprojectnj@gmail.com. Protect our palimpsest.